Hello world, my name is Aurora Stefrak, and this is going to be the first video on my new YouTube channel that I'm starting. And I mean, there's going to be a plethora of different topics that I'm going to be speaking on, but the gist of what I would like to share with you all is mostly related to healing and ascension and consciousness and expansion and growth, tapping into our authentic selves, dropping from the headspace to the heart space. I mean, I could keep on going, but I'm not going to. I think you get the gist. So yeah, pretty much raising our vibration and understanding our place in the evolution of human consciousness. Like, what the heck's going on here, right? So, yeah, that's kind of going to be the gist of my channel. And I've been brainstorming, and I've been coming up with so many ideas that I want to share with you. But today, intuitively, I wanted to talk about feelings and emotions for my first ever video because of a post from Facebook, okay? So, this all came about because I was reading somebody's post, and they're very against anti-vaxxers, and it's just this whole controversial topic, and I don't really care. Like, I mean, I'm not even going to tell you my side on the things. All I'm going to say is that the one thing that really caught my attention in the comments was the dismissal of feelings. Like, that just irked something within me, and I was like, no, don't dismiss feelings. Oh my god, they're so powerful. And I think that's a very common misconception in our society today, is to just dismiss our feelings. Focus on science, focus on the external, focus on what we can prove, focus on what we can see. And I think really we're learning to shift out of the physical at the moment, right? We're shifting into our higher dimensional beings. We're grounding and anchoring our soul into our reality, because right now so much of us are cut off. And we don't actually feel our feelings, and we look for external validation, and we're constantly seeking, and we're constantly looking outside of ourselves, when really all of our answers are within. Everything that we're seeking, everything that we want to know, like, we are the universe. And it might sound a little foo-foo, but like, honest to God, like, we really are. Everything that we're looking for out there is within us. Okay, so feelings. So the argument that I gave was, not really argument, but just like what I wanted to state was that our emotions, that our feelings, this is our soul communicating with us. When we can get in touch with our emotions and with our feelings, it's our guidance system. It's our internal compass. Like, this is how we navigate this reality. This is how our soul navigates this reality anyway. And it's through sensations that arise in our body, right? So what I said was, I was just using an analogy of any animal, right? So any animal, I was like, they don't live based off science. They live based off feelings. They live based off instincts, right? They don't go, oh, well, is there a predator coming? I don't know. Let me go and check all of these peer-reviewed science experiments to find out. No, they go, oh my god, like, an animal's coming. I need to leave. I need to fly. I need to go, right? They just know. It's this instinctual knowing, okay? So I just wanted to, like, raise that awareness for people to, like, understand, like, we're animals, and that we have this innate knowing, these instincts, our gut feelings. This is our intuition. This is our soul. This is the universe communicating to us. It's just that we're so disconnected that we have forgotten how to speak that language, right? So it's just about learning the language again, and it's about getting in tune, and it's about going within. But because we're cut off, well, I'm doing this a lot because we're cut off at like our head, right? Like at our throat. Like we don't speak our truth. We don't live from our heart. We live in our head, and it's confusing and chaotic, and it's depressing, and it's anxious ridden, and it's really not an enjoyable place to be for most people these days, right? So most of us are cut off at the head, and what I mean by that is that we don't feel. We don't navigate our reality through our emotions because we're so scared of them, because oh my god, I got hurt and this is my defense mechanism, and I have to put this wall up, and I have to put this wall up, and I have to put this, and I have to put this. And in doing that so many times, and without actually like cleaning our gutter out and actually healing our wounds and avoiding feeling, we come from a place a lot of the time of avoidance of like that disconnect, right? This is why we're all experiencing depression and anxiety, and why like we have this massive world mental health epidemic right now, because everybody is cut off from themselves, right? From their feelings. And we're taught to not go there. Don't feel those feelings. Just keep distracting yourself. Oh, go to this. Oh, go to this. Oh, go to that. And eventually it catches up to us, and then we think something's wrong with us. And it's not that anything's wrong with us. It's just that we have so much that we've carried for so long without dealing with, without acknowledging. And sorry, I was just thinking in my mind that this is not even the topics that I wanted to talk about, but that's okay. I'm just going to go with the flow. We've been cut off, and so we don't actually want to acknowledge, or don't even want to. We don't know how. We don't know how to acknowledge our emotions. We don't know how to acknowledge our feelings because it's scary, and our body doesn't know the difference between when it happened in the physical, and when our mind thinks it, because our body reacts the same as what we think in our mind. So if that makes sense. Did that make sense? So what I'm trying to say there is that our body, when we think of a trauma, goes into a mode where it experiences the trauma physically. Okay, so when we think of that time something happened that, we don't really want to acknowledge, our body goes, fight or flight, fight. I mean, yeah, fight. No, flight. It goes flight. Like, oh my god, get me out of here. I want to run away. And then I go and I distract myself, and I don't want to look at whatever it is. So yeah, like, it's really important to really tap in and learn how to process your emotions, for starters, and then how to listen to our emotions, okay? Because we don't just feel things for no reason, okay? We don't just feel things for fun. Like, it's really there to guide us, and it's really there to tell us, like when something makes us angry, when something makes us sad, when something makes us any emotion that's unpleasant, there's a reason. There's a disconnect. It's your body saying, oh my god, maybe we shouldn't be here. Oh my god, maybe this isn't okay. But we've been taught to just dismiss and suppress and not acknowledge. So, yeah, I think that's all I want to say in that department of like the wounded aspect of ourselves. But the point of me saying all of this was because I really want to touch base on the importance of learning the language of our emotions, because it's our intuition, it's our soul, it's our guidance system. It's what, as I already said, it's what's allowing us to navigate this reality. So as you are clearing the gutter, so to speak, I'm going to say, like, acknowledging things, working through things, releasing things, letting go, forgiving, all of this, it allows for you to have a clear channel, to be a clear channel, and for you to have clarity and know what your intuition is really saying, right? So when I first started my healing journey, I was so confused. I was like, oh my God, like, how do I know? How do I know? How do I know? Like, what? Like, I couldn't, like, my internal world was so chaotic that I'm even at a loss of words to describe what I was going through, because I just didn't know. I had no idea. I was like, oh my God, but I don't know. I'm this and I'm that and I'm blah, blah, blah. And I don't know why. And like, I'm fucked up, guys. I'm just fucked up, right? But the reality of it was I was just so disconnected and so out of alignment with my authentic self. And that was through the actions, through what I was thinking, through what I was saying, through the people I was hanging out with, through the life that I was living. It was so far from my authentic self. And so that's what was so confusing, right? Like, that's why I felt all that I felt, because I had been running. I had been running from myself, and I had been avoiding acknowledging that maybe the way that I was living wasn't really beneficial and wasn't really who I was. But, I mean, it was where I was at. So now I've taken the time and I've processed, and now I'm at a place, I mean, this was a few years ago now that I really started my shadow work, and I really started sitting with myself, and I really started holding space for myself and honoring my wounds and processing my emotions. Because I mean, I'm a Pisces, and we're emotional. We are so emotional, we don't even know what to do with it all, okay? So at least now I have the tools to be able to navigate, but before, like, I really had no idea up from down and left from right within me, right? Anyway, so yes, that is part of the healing aspect. But what our intuition is when we're in alignment with who we truly are and our authentic self, it guides us on our journey, and it allows for us to, like, when we're in alignment with our authentic self, we know what we want and what we don't want. We know what serves us and we know what doesn't. So we can allow for our intuition to guide us in that way. But until you're able to be in a place where you are a clear channel, and don't get me wrong, I haven't perfected this either. Like, every day is up and down, ebb and flow. It's just like I have tools now to be able to help me navigate. But it's like I take a shower every day. I do my journaling every day. I make sure that I'm on top of taking care of myself, and I use tools when I'm able to get myself out of and learn from these emotions, right? So like being sad, being depressed, being anxious, they're not negative. They're not negative. They're not bad. It just is. It's just one side of the spectrum, right? So we have to also come from a place of understanding that. So we have to learn why we're feeling these things. What are these here to teach us? Why do I feel so sad? Why am I so depressed? Why do I feel anxious? What am I not doing? Or what am I doing that isn't in alignment with who I am? Okay? So, okay, I think that's all I want to say about that. But yeah, like, I guess really that all of this blabbing has to do with my initial point, which is why our feelings are so important, okay? So this is why when I read on that post, like, oh, all of these people, okay, I'm going to just say conspiracies. He was saying all of these conspiracies are all based on feelings. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, but like, you can't just dismiss feelings, right? So the point of me explaining all that wounded stuff was so that I can explain to you that I believe what I believe for the reason of my intuition and my soul guiding me to believe that, okay? So what I was saying was what I believe is due to me trusting my intuition, going within, trusting my own wisdom within. And it's not to say like all feelings that people feel are necessarily like, oh my god, this is going to sound ridiculous, but like a reliable source, because they're actually acting from a wounded space. So it's like there's a lot of work that's needed to be done before you're able to really go in and get clear answers. Because a lot of the time, like, see, but do I really mean that? I guess I'm talking about a greater perspective at the moment with the post that I was reading. This is what I'm talking about. So when we talk about our personal journey, so it's like, you know, when we're in a relationship that maybe we shouldn't be in, right? Like things like that, like, okay, that's very clear to us. When we go within and we really tap into our heart space and tap into our body and like really feel into that, it's very clear that we should or shouldn't be in a relationship, in that relationship. But when I'm talking about external things that you are confused about because there's so much misinformation out there, and you don't know what to believe or who to believe or how to believe it, you go within and feel it. Ask the question and go within and let your body speak to you. Let your soul speak to you. Get out of your head space and into your heart space and allow for the message to come through. And trust it. Yeah, really trust it. Trust that the message that you, but that's still be open to other perspectives and to other, just don't give your power away to external circumstances. And I'm using science as an example, actually. I know this is a bold statement, but like science is very narrow in perspective. It's very based on the physical 3D reality that like we're in right now, but really what we can see with our physical eyes and feel with our physical body is so small. The spectrum of that perspective is so tiny, it's so minuscule. So we have to sometimes go within, tap into our soul, tap into our multidimensional self, which goes way beyond this physical reality, and receive messages that way. And it is through our emotions that we receive our intuition and our physical body sensations and stuff like that. Yeah, so I think that this is my first video, and I think that's all I really want to say there, but I just really wanted to like accentuate the importance of feelings, because I know, I shouldn't say I believe, I know that it is our guidance system, and I know that it is a truth that we are able to fully trust in. And I know that it's dismissed so often, so I just felt the need to talk about this and share. And I know I went all over the shops, but like this wasn't planned. This was just very intuitional. This was on the fly. That post happened. I commented my comment, and now here I am recording this video. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I look forward to making more videos and hearing what everybody has to say and what their perspective on it all is and what their experiences are. Yeah, so thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to sharing more of my wisdom with you.